Hi guys, that's Julie with the new Passat. Say hi everybody. Thanks Julie. Hi, good evening. Welcome to YS Kong Driving. We have the latest iteration of the Volkswagen Passat. Now, this is built along the lines of the previous one and is exactly the same dimensions, more or less, except for a bit of changes here and there. But what you have, the key item here is a new engine. This is, the previous one had 224 torque, but this one has only 190 and 320 Newton meters of torque. But what makes up for it is a 7-speed DSG gearbox. And the good news is this 7-speed is a wet clutch. So this is the better of the two DSG clutches that you can get. And another piece of good news is this car is now sold for under 200k. That means the price is let me do a very correct quote, 187,990 or 188 minus 10 ringgit. Thanks, Mr. Sim. Okay, so what comes with this car consumption? So the rated fuel consumption now with this 7-speed wet clutch and 190 PS is 6.5 liters per 100 kilometers. So, and this is tested under the new standard. It's called WLTP. I have no idea what it means, but that's the new standard. Let's have a look at the front. The front end is slightly changed from the previous one, and you get LED lights and a new grille and a new lower lip. So this look is still very much Volkswagen, but it is a much fresher look. Okay, so let's go to the sides now. And at the side, you get 18-inch wheels, which is one step up on the previous one. Now, previously they had the 1.8 and also the 2-liter. Now they just have the 2-liter, and I'm not sure whether there's a 1.8, but I don't think it's going to be there. And this one now comes with 18-inch wheels. And of course, brakes, you see, as usual with Volkswagen, there's always a very big ventilated disc. This is a single pot floating caliper and McPherson struts in the front. Basically, it's the previous model but rebuilt, differently. The exterior is totally changed. The design language remains the same. It is still very much a Passat, but it is totally different. And at the back, you get a multi-link suspension with, let's see, it's solid disc and a single floating caliper. And over at the back, okay, just for the record, this is called the Passat Elegance, This is the executive car. The lights are slightly thicker. I think they're the same size as before, but it's thicker. And of course, this is, sorry. Oh, it's a, wow, electric boot. See the Passat stretching across the back, that's different. And as I said, okay, this is the secret of Volkswagen. That's how you open the boot, So those of you who don't know where is the boot lid cover, control is there. And what is this? This is the seat tumbler, I think. Okay, that tumbles the rear seat. Let's pull the other one. Okay, so you have a huge boot here, and if you don't mind the smell, maybe you can put about 4 or 5 dead bodies. Sorry, 4 or 5 golf clubs. Okay, further down in the boot, you have a space saver tire, and all your tools are here in a very convenient package. It's just tied down with a strap. Take out the tools, and you got a space saver tire. Now let's see whether they still continue the tradition. This is something very unique for Volkswagen. They make this little hook here will hook this one up so that the thing doesn't keep on falling down. See how clever it is? When you go down here, it becomes a handle. Want to see the handle here? Okay, that's the handle. for you to lift up, and then when you bring it up here, you hook it up like that. That's very clever and convenient little feature. And of course here, this is the, I was wondering what this was, now I remember. This is the Volkswagen version of the tapao hook. Yeah, so it hangs up there nicely without disturbing anybody. You go to the supermarket, buy your stuff, and you hang it here. Yeah, this is the tapao hook, and there's only one. Okay, let's close the boot. Okay, because this is an executive car, we start by looking at the back. Yeah, okay, I don't know what's the position of the front seat like, but I'm sitting at the back here. I'm 5 feet 4.5, okay, or 1.6 something meters, and there is still plenty of room. So if you're 2 meters and above or 1.8, there's plenty of space. And as usual, they have the, I'm going to turn on the interior lights a bit. They have the little hole underneath the seat for you to put your feet. And again, you have adjustable seat belt anchors. This headrest, oh, okay, this is like the previous one. The headrests are adjustable, yeah, so you can adjust it to what you want. There's plenty of room, and there's plenty of headroom too. Even though it looks like a coupe version, yeah, there's still plenty of room, and reading lights at the back. And of course, there is the rear aircon controller. So this is pretty nice. So along the sides, you can see very nice trim, and this is leather with white stitching. So the stitching is very nice and tastefully done. And 3 headrests, that means you can seat 5. But honestly speaking, I think 4 people will be very, very comfortable in here. Okay, now let's go to the front. Okay, this one has got a easy entry, yeah. It's like the previous one. And you get, this seat is much. So just now you saw I had a lot of room, right? So now I'm going to put the seat, and this is how I would sit in the car. And so you can see that I have slided the seat forward about that much. So there's plenty of room at the back. Steering, yes, adjustable for height. You can get the best driving position that you want. And of course, it's just mechanical, not electric. And steering is a nice size. It's some kind of, it looks like leather, and it's stitched, and it's very nice feel. And of course, the traditional paddle shifters, very nice and convenient on the car. And this part is very familiar. Yeah, it looks the same as the previous one. And you have your, this is the rear blind, your parking sensors, and the very important one to me, this is the auto on off. I always have it off, disabled, so that my engine doesn't die out on me all the time. Okay, so other than that, it's got an electronic handbrake here. This is the electronic handbrake, and also auto hold. Okay, so the screen here is pretty nice, and you can see, yeah, door warning, and this is supposed to be new. And according to the notes I made, this is a 11.7-inch digital cockpit. Yeah, this is 11.7-inch digital cockpit. It shows you there's a customizable screen, and there are 30 options. We won't go into details yet, but there's another screen here. Okay, I'm going to turn it on, but don't start the engine. Okay, you get GPS, then you get vehicle information, tire. Oh, there's a tire pressure monitoring system, and vehicle status. There's 2 reports. I don't know what they are. And let's just see. Tire pressures are okay. And what else do they have? Selection, digital cockpit. Let's press this. Oh, clock. You see over there the meter. Oh, okay, look at this. Classic is the classic view, like that. View number 1. Oh, that changes. You can get the speed. That's the range, and that's the fuel consumption. View number 2. Oh, then it changes. Okay, then review number 3. So you can have different combinations for your meters. There's route guidance here. Aircon here is digital control. This is very familiar. It's just like the other. It's very Volkswagen, so you can actually see that it's very familiar. If you already own a Volkswagen, you'll be very much at home here. Okay, I think that's about it, but let's take a look at the engine. Okay, I think the note here about this, this is the bonnet catch, and if I close the door, this part of the door will close here. That means you cannot open the bonnet when your door is closed. This is a safety feature, okay? Okay, let's pop the bonnet and let's look at the engine. Okay, so here is the engine. Okay, this part is not part of the engine. They have connected it to some transformer to give the car power while it's parked here in the showroom, because a lot of people are going to look at it. And this is the battery. Okay, let's look at the intake. The intake of the car. Okay, this is where the air cleaner is. The intake of the car is here. Okay, it's all along here, so it's pretty high. Okay for a little bit of a flash flood. Engine is all aluminum, and you can see here they have made some attempt to save weight by having aluminum engine mountings, and then the turbocharger is at the back here, yeah? So this is the turbocharged engine, and the turbo is here, and here are the heat shields. So the engine cover is here, but okay, it's not easy to take out. Sorry. Anyway, this is the double overhead cam engine, and it's with direct injection. You see the variable valve timing mechanism over here. So this is a pretty good engine, and a little bit of reinforcement here. It just helps to tie this up together. And again, down here in the fender, you can see they have cut away the fender to lessen the weight. Okay, anyway, I don't know what's the weight of the car, but we'll soon be getting this one for test drive. And the question I would want to ask is, how does 190 PS compare to the 220? It's less power, but it's not necessarily less powerful, because now they have a 7-speed gearbox instead of the 6. All that is just torque. We just need to get the car on the road and up our favorite mountain climb, and then we'll see if it's good enough or not. But instinct tells me that, well, Volkswagen is one of the biggest companies in the world, and I'm sure they have thought through it properly, and this car will be just as fun to drive, I expect. And with the smaller horsepower, it also means better reliability in most probability, and also better fuel consumption. Remember, 6.5 liters per 100 kilometers. So that's about it for now. Thanks very much for watching, and till we get this car on the road, bye-bye.